All right, we'll talk about a little bit about pre-workout mixes, the stuff that's available on the market out there. Now, the problem with most pre-workouts, and the reason that guys get confused, and maybe girls too, about what actually does what in your body. All right? A couple reasons why people get confused. One reason they get confused is when you pick up most of these pre-workouts on the market today, if not all, definitely most, and you look on the back of the ingredients, there's a bunch of shit in there. All these proprietary matrices, fucking your vasodilation matrix and your fucking energy matrix and some kind of fucking, who knows, all kind of horse shit. But pump fucking matrix or whatever. And it'll say something like, I don't know, not much, like 4 point some grams or something total, right? Then it may have the breakdown. And then that's where it gets interesting and important. You look at what is in it and how much of each ingredient. And the expensive shit is barely in there. There's only enough in there. The shit that really works, what you're looking for, there's only enough in there for them to be able to state that it's in there. Hey, look, this is in here. It's not enough to do anything. So they put a bunch of crap in there. Then they all have, almost all of them, have stimulants in there. They disguise it in some ways because they know not everybody wants it. Some people will be turned off by the blatant titles of some of these stimulants, so they kind of try to disguise them. But they're in there, most of them. And, caffeine is a big one. Now, if you like caffeine, no problem. I like coffee in the morning, love it. But you don't want that pre-workout. You don't want it. First, what are you taking your pre-workout for? You need energy? Really? Isn't it enough just to get it up for the workout? Right? You can crank yourself up, grin and bear it, bite down, get in there and do your thing. You don't need that fucking caffeine. Caffeine, the way that it works, it does the opposite of what you're trying to accomplish or what you want from a pre-workout. It's contradictory. So you end up getting a hefty dose of caffeine, fairly hefty dose, so it has an effect. Don't you think that that's going to negate most of the effect from, the actual vasodilation and the actual shit that's going to help you get a better pump, that's going to flood that muscle and flush it with blood? Yeah, it kind of does negate a whole lot of its worth because you're going to get a heftier dose of the fucking caffeine. And the caffeine is constrictive. It's a constrictor. It does the opposite. So what sense does that make? You're essentially taking pretty much almost a fucking muscle speedball and going into the gym. It might feel good, but it ain't all about feel good. All right? I want pump. I want swole. I want to stretch the fascia. I want to stretch and push the limits of that restriction. I want to expound upon the limit of that restriction, reduce some of the restriction so that the muscle can more easily accommodate new growth as time goes on. Loosen that fascia up. It's the name of the game. Over a long term, tiny bit by tiny bit, every workout, consistently. So that's why you want to get that pump. That's the importance of that. But caffeine is counterproductive to that goal. All right? And then the number one thing that you need to get your pump on, the number one fucking thing that you need is this. L-Arginine. I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. Anytime I talk about any of this shit, somebody recently was telling me the greatest, beats any pre-workout out there, the greatest pump you can get is with fucking beetroot juice and caffeine. Caffeine? Really? There we go with the caffeine again. Look, beet juice, awesome. Probably very good for blood pressure reduction. If it works for you for that, great. If you still like it, it's still good for you if you don't care about the blood pressure reduction. Doesn't matter. Drink all the goddamn beet juice you want. But that shit ain't giving you no motherfucking pump. If you think that's a pump, you ain't had a pump. Trust me. Now, I've tried everything. That beetroot juice shit, That ain't no pump. Now, it may be better or as good as, a bunch of these pre-workouts, because like I told you, they have such small amounts of what you really need. How much L-Arginine is in most pre-workouts? L-Arginine is the motherfucker. You understand? This is King Kong right here. All right? You think it's citrulline? Fuck no. AKG? Tell you what, go get you some raw citrulline. Go get you some raw AKG. Take a bunch of it, see what it does to you. Progressively increase the dose. Try this by itself and see what this does. But you know how much you need? All right, most pre-workouts, total L-Arginine you'll see on the back, probably less than a gram. Maybe significantly less than a gram. If you're very, very lucky, you may find a rare bird here or there that has about a gram. You ain't getting no better than that. You know how much you need? Me, my size, as much glycogen as my muscles can hold, I take about 12 grams pre-workout before every workout of L-Arginine. 12 grams. That's a pretty hefty dose. That's a big dose. You ain't getting that from no pre-workout. That's why your pre-workouts with L-Arginine, that's why it doesn't stand out and jump out to you that this is the shit, because you ain't getting enough of it to ever know what it really does to you. The rest of that shit, citrulline, AKG, all this horse shit, I don't even use that. I have tried it all. It ain't nothing to it. It doesn't get it done. All you need is L-Arginine. And the other thing you need is glycogen in the muscle. How are you going to get glycogen in the muscle? How are you going to get good and full? Well, that's where something along this line comes in. This is what I use. You use whatever you prefer to use, okay? Want to use waxy maize? Use waxy maize. I don't care for it. Have I tried it? Extensively over the years. Don't really care for it. There was a time I kind of liked it, but the science pushed on and they came out with, better versions of different things, and so far, this is what I like. This is the best shit I can get. You want to try, what else is out there? Targo, right? I don't like it. I gave a whole jug of it away a couple weeks ago. It's like a rock. If you leave it in your shaker in the bottom and it settles, right, it falls out of suspension and you let it sit, it balls up into like a big hard knot of fucking plaster of Paris damn near. That's what it does in your stomach too, basically. This stuff, fine crystalline powder, mixes up effortlessly, nice and clear, easy to digest, easy to drink, easy to assimilate. Works great. Spikes quickly, just like glucose, but has a no crash and much longer duration. Stays up there a nice long time, because you want that insulin fucking shock. You want that spike. You need that spike. Now, if they were going to give you a test for diabetes in a healthy adult with good insulin response, normal insulin response, they'd give you like 75 grams of sugar, basically some type of sugar, glucose, whatever, dextrose, whatever. And so you're going to obviously need 75 grams. This shit, I take this is 50 grams a shot. It's a pretty sizable scoop. I take between 100 grams and 150 grams. Sometimes I'll alternate. One workout 100, next workout 150. What that does is, if you continue to do that, after you've done that every workout, in a couple of workouts, you're going to stay fuller. 24/7, around the clock, you're going to be fuller, rounder. You got to get the water too. It all works synergistically together. Muscles mostly water, so you got to get the water in there. Like I keep telling you, keep hydrating. You got to be hydrated, well hydrated. Don't underestimate the benefit of the water, even visually, on what you're going to see. So you got to get plenty of water. You want to see what you really got? Plenty of water. All right? 75, 100 grams of this shit, pre-workout, mixed with L-Arginine. Now, in my opinion, this is the best available that I can get. It's pharmaceutical grades by Now Sports L-Arginine powder. I think this is the best on the market. Now, if there's something else out there and I find it, I'll switch to it if it's better. But so far, this is the shit. But the reason that you're not getting it done with L-Arginine, and you ain't down with L-Arginine like you need to be, and you don't understand the weight and what I'm telling you and how cool it actually is and how necessary it is because you have never had enough L-Arginine. The doses and the amounts that are in your pre-workouts are so small, it's insignificant. You might as well leave it out. You wouldn't know the difference. It's so little. You won't know the difference. But get you about, I would say start out with like 8 grams. Be careful with it because it's to bowel tolerance. You understand what I'm saying? If you go in and throw down 15 grams of this, you're going to get cleaned out real good. So you may not want to jump up that high right off the top. You get a handle, a loose grip on what your muscles can hold. How much glycogen can you fucking hold? That's where you want to be. And of course, nobody wants to believe anymore about that anabolic window or whatever right after your workout. But you want some protein circulating in that blood. You want a nice constant trickle. And while that insulin is still high in your body, after it shuttles all this fucking glycogen back into the muscle, then you want to have protein in there too, so it can get shuttled directly into the muscle, while your insulin's still high. Other effect is, intake of simple sugars, which this qualifies for, as does glucose, dextrose. You don't want sucrose just because it's not dense enough. You need half a motherfucking bag to get these kind of numbers. So that don't work too good. But another reason for this consumption around the workout is the workout is catabolic in itself. You're actually breaking down the body, you're breaking down the muscle tissue, and on top of that, it stimulates the release of cortisol in the body during the workout. It's fact. So exercise-induced cortisol release, it's true, it's a real thing. And taking in simple sugars before and during your workout, sipping this throughout the workout, blunts the cortisol response. So if you need any more reason, I'm telling you, small steps to the moon. Every little thing counts. If you're trying to get there and you're not bullshitting around and you're serious, these are tools that you got to have in your gym bag. These are things that, you got to be using. This is things you need. This is a must-have for me. This is part of the whole program, part of the whole system. It's not, maybe or maybe not. It's just like eating. It's just like that water. It's all a must. And this is just as important to me. If I want to put the size on, stay good and full. Anyway, that's it for that. So go out and try your thing. And the guy that recommended the beet juice and caffeine, it's better than any pre-workout drink on the market. Maybe, maybe not, don't know, because I don't really fuck around pre-workouts on the market. Only time I ever use any of them is just to throw a little extra something containing N02. I don't even give a shit what it is. Just on top of this, just for variety's sake. And I try my best to avoid caffeine and stims. It's almost impossible. But in pre-workouts. But the pre-workout, the mix, I can get along without that. But these 2 items I gotta have, plus my daily water intake. You got that on top of your game and you're gonna see a difference in your body. You will see it. Within days, you will see it. 24/7. So try this out and then tell me about beet juice for a pump. Bullshit. Now, for endurance, maybe. For your pump, horse shit. And then as far as Jerry Branium wrote all about it, who the fuck is he actually? He's a writer. He's a fucking writer. Not taking anything away from him, no disrespect. Is he a bodybuilder? When was the last time he had a good pump on? Alright, I can hold a lot of glycogen. I get fucking monster pumps. My pumps are the difference between flaccid and erect. That's how much a dramatic difference a pump is for me. That's how much glycogen I hold. All right, so Jerry can say whatever he wants to say, Jerry Branium. Well, anytime he wants to come to the gym and compare pumps with me, he can do it his way, I'll do mine, and let's see what the results look like. Because I'm after results. If you're after just sitting around with a chalkboard and writing things up, here's one for you to try for yourself and look at if that's what you'd like to do. Go look up the pathway that L-Arginine follows in the body. You want to trip yourself out? Go look that shit up. Factually. You'll see a very convoluted, circuitous type of pathway. And you'll say to yourself, oh, there's no way that what he's telling me can be true. That L-Arginine shit by itself like that, that can't do that. Think so? You would think you need citrulline, right? There you go, perfect case, prove to yourself just in one quick instance. Very quickly you can prove to yourself that what we think we know, what we can look at on paper and say, okay, this makes full sense, ain't always the whole story. There's something missing somewhere. Because this Monster Pump, try it for yourself. Everybody that has come back and told me, you were fucking right, 100%. Never had a pump like that. Try it and see. You're trying to get big, or you're trying to just talk about it. That's it. Take it easy. Have an awesome day.